All right, y'all. Welcome back to another Dream Small Business Framework where we're focusing on content. And I have great news. I am celebrating myself because I have accomplished a goal that I set for myself when I started these webinars back in May. And that was to achieve at least 100 videos on this channel. And I finally made it to 100 videos, actually over 100 videos. And so today I want to share my mistakes so that it is your win. You, as a small business owner who needs to create content for brand presence, or as an aspiring content creator, today I'm going to be giving you 10 do's and don'ts for publishing content on YouTube. Now, we're going to jump straight in to these 10 tips. But what I need from you is to make sure that you drop in the comments which tip you needed to hear most today. And then also, if you have any questions, make sure that you leave it there as well. I typically answer questions through my content. So, or I'll answer it straight up as well. I'll respond to you. But I also tend to elaborate more and go further or deeper into the conversation so that we can share the wealth with everyone. All right. So, the very first lesson is you don't need to post daily. Okay. So, back over the summer, I actually proposed a challenge for some of us, and that was to post content daily over the course of 7 days. So, just for 1 week, we posted content every single day. And I also gave us the option to post shorts, short form, and long form video. Okay. So, shorts, is typically about 60 seconds or less. Long form video is over 8 minutes. Some people say over 10. I mean, it goes, it's changed up quite a few times at this point, but it's somewhere over 8 minutes long. And then anywhere in between 60 seconds to to 8 minutes or 10 minutes is shorts. I'm sorry about the numbers. Don't get hell bent on the numbers and the time at this particular moment, but there's shorts, there's short form, and then there's long form. So you had the option to post one of the three over the course of 7 days. A few of us did it. Several of us were successful. Many were not. Okay. I was even late on one of the days posting at midnight, which definitely didn't suffice. And y'all, I gotta tell you, it was challenging. And so as a solopreneur running your business and wearing the hats in all departments, or even as an aspiring content creator, if you're a novice, a beginner, you're new, and you don't have a team to specifically help you with content, then posting daily is almost impossible without burnout. Okay. It's possible for some, but it doesn't mean that they're not burnt out. It doesn't mean that they're posting quality content. And all of these things are sustainable, are important. Okay. So you don't need to post daily, which is great. I do encourage my small business owners and content creators to post weekly, though. Okay, so once a week. And if that is the challenge for you right now, then you want to consider bi weekly, definitely monthly, no longer than that, unless you're going off the grid for a while. Communication is key. Make sure you let your audience know when they can expect videos from you. But weekly is the sweet spot, y'all. Once a week, you can expect to see me, and your audience should expect to see you. Now, one thing that you do want to do though is post with intention, right? So you want to post with intention. When you're posting that content weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever it is, you need to post with intention. Okay. It needs to be at a sustainable pace, not just for you either. It's definitely for you, but not just for you, but even for your audience. Think about it. If you posted a long form piece of content, and let's say it was really long, let's say it was 60 minutes, right? That's typically what my webinar run at, right? So even at 60 minutes, what is the action steps that your audience needs to take after they finish that content, right? You want to give them homework, you want to give them an assignment, you want to give them something to do, right? And so the expectation shouldn't be that they have to also keep up with your content, especially if it's not something that is like a course or a workshop. And each piece of content is like the next step or the next level to something that you started with them. It needs to be a sustainable pace for you as the content creator and the business owner, but it also needs to be a sustainable pace for your audience to actually digest the information, maybe even go back and watch it again, and to start to implement some of what you've taught them in that piece of content in the first place. Okay. You also need to figure out a rhythm, a cadence. So I do still highly suggest that you choose one day and time per week to either do your short or your long form content. Okay. Rhythm, not burnout. So for me, even over the course of the 7 days, I almost burnt out. That was why I was one day late for one of the pieces of content. So I ended up posting two on the next day, right? Just to suffice the 7. But still, does it matter? Well, not when you're burnt out, not when your audience is not digesting the information, and then also not if they're not even seeing it. Then what's the point? Can you imagine posting videos every single day and no one sees it? You get absolutely no feedback on it. I mean, if no one sees it, then that's feedback in itself. But just saying, like, there's no point. So, and we want to make sure that we're doing things with intention, right? So if you have an intention, completely different. Some people, maybe if you work 5 days a week and you turn your camera on for your work and you've automated your live streams and webinars so that it broadcasts right away onto your channel, then that's fine, right? Because there might not be additional work for you there, especially if you've automated it. But for anyone else who has not, there is a likely chance that you'll reach burnout. We want to stay away from that. Okay. And so, next is the consistency. Your consistency needs to be built on predictability. So, one thing that I do is I make sure that you see me once a week and you know which day and what time. Saturdays, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I say it every week, and I'm also here every week on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If there is ever a time that I'm not, something happens, something is up. There's been one time where there was a glitch in the system. There's been another time where I thought I published on YouTube and I didn't. So it was sitting in my drafts. And, but I was still here at 4 p.m. on Saturday Eastern Standard Time talking to the camera. Okay. And then the live eventually went up. So it's really important that your audience knows when they can see you again. When can I see you again? Okay. They need to know when they can see you again. And it's really important for you to understand that the predictability is the priority, not the frequency. So I hope you feel a bit relieved knowing that you don't need to post daily. It actually can induce adverse effects should you do that. And you don't have to, because I've did it already to let you know that it's not important. It was advice that I had gotten a while back, is that you should try to post daily. And maybe at that point in time with YouTube, that was helpful, but it's not right now. So we can kindly allow that myth to roll off our backs while we move on to the second do and don't. Do quality, don't do quantity. Okay, so this is kind of segues from what we were just discussing and talk about, where it's predictability but not frequency. Aside from predictability, quality is what's important. So it's interesting. I've relaunched this channel, and I've obviously I monitor the analytics, the feedback, and I've pivoted and made some adjustments to this channel. And now that I'm understanding it a lot more, I help other organizations and businesses grow their YouTube channels. And some of my favorite content creators, I realized, haven't even reached 100 videos yet and have way more subscribers than I do. Okay. And when I'm looking at that, I'm like, and a lot of other content creators as well. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, it really isn't about the quantity. It really is about the quality. The quality of the videos, though, are so good. So it makes sense why they have 60, 70, 100,000 subscribers and they don't even have 100 videos yet. Quality beats quantity every time. Okay. So I want you to keep that in mind, because it's important as you're thinking of how you're going to deliver your content, The intention needs to be there. It needs to be strong. Your video needs to be purposeful. And that one video will perform 10 times better than rushed ones that doesn't have the quality, that doesn't have intention, and that it's not purposeful, right? Depth creates trust. Okay. And then trust creates community, and your community is the one that's going to support you by subscribing. Your community is going to support you by following you elsewhere off of the platform. And community is also going to be the people that buys your products and your services. Okay. Because you've built trust with them and they were able to go through the depths with you. So that is something to keep in mind. It is always about quality. So going back and watching your videos over is helpful. I've done that plenty of times. All right, y'all. We know it could be cringy to watch ourselves on camera, and that's okay. We're going to allow it. I still get cringed out by myself. And that's okay. It's not about that, right? Every time we're making content, we need to make it about our audience. When we remove ourselves from it, it almost removes every single block that you could think of. So your audience needs purpose and intention. That is going to build your quality, and that is going to make a strong video. Your next don't and do, number 3, is going to be that you don't need fancy equipment. And I think most of us know this at this point, but I just need to be really clear about this, because you might watch your favorite content creator and realize that they have impeccable equipment, impeccable quality sound and visual, fancy lighting, a desk, bah, 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 bah. None of that is necessary. And believe you me, they didn't start there. Okay. They've grown over time. And so they were able to make adjustments and pivot in their growth through consistency, right? But we don't need to start there. All you need is a camera. That's it. Okay. Or at least something to record your audio, right? So most people are using their phones to create content. Right now, I'm on my laptop. You could be on your laptop, your tablet, your computer, whatever it is that you have at home. You don't need fancy equipment. You just need one device. And if you have a phone, which most people do, a cell phone, then you're good to go. Okay. Now, another thing that is useful is if you do have a voice recorder, you can do that too. So you can absolutely record your voice over video. And it doesn't matter what's in the video. The thing that matters the most is to make sure you do have a clear message, right? So you want to have a clear message. People connect with your voice, not your camera. Many times, I know for me, I'm not even watching what's happening on YouTube, especially if there's no demonstration or how to. I'm listening. And there's podcast style is actually a booming business on YouTube right now. And so that's all that you actually need. You don't even need a camera. Look at that. Okay. But if you have a phone, you can also record your voice on the phone, and then you can do a voiceover, a visual to deliver your clear message. Okay. Also, your clear message, it needs to solve a problem. We talked about that plenty of times during our Dream Small Business Framework, and I'm going to reiterate that here as a part of your clear message. Content that solves a problem works even when your lighting doesn't. Okay. I just need to hear what you're saying. Some cases there's an exception where you need to see it, but for the most part, you can walk someone through anything by just speaking with them. So that's all that you need. No fancy equipment, just a clear message and a phone. I will give one tip here for anyone who is interested in equipment. But yeah, okay. So let's say I have a phone. I'm okay with recording and such and publishing videos. But what equipment should I get next? The only other equipment that I've invested in, which has been great advice, because remember, small business owner and also aspiring entrepreneur, content creator, more than likely, right? We want to be cost effective about our funds and how we're generating our revenue and spending money, right? We want to keep our expenses low, is what I'm saying. And so, because of that, the only other thing that I'd actually recommend aside from your phone is a really good mic. And really good mic does not mean a super expensive mic. I mean just a basic lapel mic or whatever the other brands are. I'm not recommending a brand here at this time. But you'll see the reviews. Make sure that you're reading the reviews for the mic. Make sure that the mic actually aligns with the kind of phone that you use. So read the descriptions and the details to make sure that you're getting the correct mic. But a nice portable mic, or even the old school. Now those are old school. That's crazy to me. Even the buds with the wire still that has the mic on it works like a gem. And so you should use it. Okay. That is the only other equipment that I'm going to recommend at this time. Because honestly, it's irrelevant, y'all. That's how easy making videos are, is because it's about the message. So as long as people can hear you, quality sound, as long as people can hear you really well, your content is golden. Next, number 4, don't and do, or do's and don'ts, but we're going through don't and do. Okay. All right. We talked about being on camera, and I did mention that you can also record your voice, but that is it, y'all. You don't even need to be on camera to be successful. How cool is that? So, for anyone who's been hindering themselves from publishing content because you're afraid of being on camera, guess what? You don't even have to be on camera. Okay. You get to do voiceovers, like I mentioned. Okay. Voice record and then put it over a slideshow. You could do B-roll of the thing that you're talking about or something else, right? Meditation audios, like I'll do on my fitness channel built by community, right? I do meditation audios. And when I do meditation, I'm not doing it with a camera just staring at me doing the meditation. I'm actually doing it over a slideshow, and I've used an audio. Okay. You can also do a screen share. So maybe you're not necessarily on camera, but you're sharing your screen and walking people through the thing that you're talking about. Okay. And then the last thing is like storytelling formats, right? So you could download and generate an animation, right? AI has been a really helpful tool in successfully creating content for us so that we could put our voiceover over it. Okay. So you absolutely don't need to be on camera to be successful. All you do need is a really good voiceover. Record your audio, paste it over something, and publish your content. All right, let's turn on this light, y'all. It's getting dark. Next, don't to do. Number 5. Okay. We talked about this, was it last week? A recent webinar about ideas, content ideas. You don't need 100 ideas. You don't even need to generate 100 ideas. Don't forget about going into ChatGPT and trying to generate content ideas. All you need is 3 ideas that's told in 100 different ways. 3 ideas that's important to your audience. Don't forget about that, right? So the best type of content solves problems for people. And so whatever your solution is, your product or your service, or whatever you're educating us on, all you need to do is flip that into 3 ways, right? And then sell it 100 different times. The same thing. Okay? Just like products and services. So for example, again, I'm gonna go back to my fitness business, right? So I talk about when I talk about losing weight, I talk about intermittent fasting, I talk about calorie deficits, I talk about high intensity interval training, right? So those are 3 things that I'll talk about. Now, I might have created a piece of a long form content and gave all of that information away. Those are the 3 things that I'm going to recommend: is that you stay in a caloric deficit, and just that you intermittent fast, and that you do high intensity interval training 3 times a week. Okay. Then my next video, I'm going to focus on intermittent fasting. And then my next video, I'm going to focus on explain a calorie deficit. Then the next video, I'm going to focus on high intensity interval training. And then the next video, I'm going to focus on the different types of intermittent fasting. And then the next video, I'm going to focus on exactly how you should do your high intensity interval training, right? Why 3 times a week, or why it's not effective for someone, right? If it's not effective, what you should do next. So, and mind you, losing weight is a real world problem that not only can we all, or do we all know that, like, duh, like obviously, right? That's an obvious problem. But not only that, that is a problem that I get asked about a lot. So I'm also thinking about the people that I'm connecting with already that has disclosed that this is an issue for them. And now this is my content idea. And so whatever we talked about in that conversation, I'm going to turn it into content. Yeah. So you don't need a bunch of ideas. 3 is good. 3 is the magic number. And then tell it in different ways. Okay. Repetition is resonance. Repetition is resonance. You need to give your audience time to digest the information that you're giving them. Allow them time to sit with what resonated with them, and then repeat it so that it actually saturates, it permeates into the subconscious mind so they get it. Because sometimes you just hear something once is not enough, right? If I give you directions on how to get somewhere and it's far, and I told you to turn left, then you turn right, then you go straight, and maybe it sounds like you got it the first time, you even repeated it back, but then when you walk away from that person, you're like, what the hell they said? Why didn't I write it down? Or why didn't I record it? Right? So repetition is resonance, not just the first time hearing it, but hearing it more than once. And your best videos, y'all, come from core themes, repurposed from different angles. So whatever it is that you are selling or teaching people to do, just take it, publish it, and then take that same one and deliver it through another angle, just like I broke down for you about what I do on my fitness page. Okay. Now, here goes the 6 don't and do. Okay. Don't be so hard on yourself for your first 20 videos, but do publish 20 videos as practice. If you currently don't have 20 videos up yet, forget 100. Let's focus on 20. I'm telling you, y'all, one of my favorite content creators has 60,000 subscribers and he only has 60 videos. I was beside myself. Okay, because it's about the quality over quantity. It's about solving real world issues. It's about resonating with your audience, right? It's about consistency. These are things that we know, right? Your first 20 videos, it didn't get any views or as much views, or you hate the way that you look and sound in the videos. Y'all, that don't matter. It's just practice. Like, just like anything, we didn't get on a bike and ride it perfectly the first time. Maybe not even the first 20 times. Okay, I'm not talking about 20 different days of riding a bike. I'm talking about 20 times of riding without training wheels. Right? So content is not different. It's the same thing. Anything that's new, we need to do it multiple times. Again, repetition is resonance. So we need to do it multiple times in order to get good at it. So I want you to look at your first 20 videos as just practice. Don't criticize yourself so much. If you're hard on yourself, I want you to know that's okay, but I also need you to shift your mindset right now. Nothing comes from being hard on yourself. If anything, it's going to make publishing and posting content much harder. Okay. This is something that I've experimented with as well. So I know I'm trying to save you and help you. And in fact, you know for yourself, if you're a person that is not even the biggest critic, right? Because I think it makes sense that we get to evaluate our own actions, right? So we get to give ourselves, we have the opportunity to critique ourselves. Constructive criticism, though, is helpful. Okay, not self-sabotage. So from what angle are you coming from in even critiquing your own videos? Okay, so get over the cringe part and then actually start to focus on, well, what will actually make this better, or what will actually make me feel better? Is it the environment that I'm recording in? Is it what I'm wearing? Do I need to wear something that looks the same instead of trying to change things up? Right, it's okay. Right, you need to be constructively criticizing your videos, not self-sabotaging your videos. Okay, so use your first 20 videos to really learn your tone, your pace, your energy, right? And then also narrowing down on your niche, because that has also come up a lot. If y'all been rocking with me for the last few years, y'all already know when I used to sell I used to sell YouTube products. And through the product, I used to talk about how important it is to find a niche. And even then, I didn't even truly have, I had a niche, but it's like it wasn't it wasn't content. It was YouTube. And so I was talking about a lot of things about YouTube, which was okay. But content is where publishing content is where a lot of struggles are, especially in small business. So that was the lane that I chose, but I developed that over time, is what I'm saying. So it wasn't the first thing that I thought it was going to be. I thought YouTube was actually going to be my niche. I mean, it's a part of the conversation when I'm talking about it, but this conversation actually applies for any social platform that you're using. So whether it's Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, like wherever you're going a full 100% into, you still need consistency. You still need to have good quality. You still need 3 ideas told in 100 different ways. You still need to look at your first 20 videos as just practice and to really learn your tone, your pace, your energy, etc. Okay, your niche is going to come over time. So also be mindful about critiquing that as well. Okay, divine time and persistence will lead you to your niche. Okay, all right. Number 7. Okay, don'ts and do's, or do's and don'ts and do's. Listen up. Visibility, y'all. Visibility isn't the goal, value is. And I want to really make sure that I'm clear in my message here, because I have talked about in previous webinars how content in particular gives your audience visibility into your brand. That is still true. However, visibility isn't the sole goal for your content. Value delivery is. So my audience could be aware of Shayna Creates or my other channel, my other business built by community. You could be aware of that. However, if these videos aren't providing value for you, you're going to click off, right? There might be a handful of people who already did. If you're still rocking with me, I appreciate you. I'm glad that you're finding value. This is an indicator that you are finding value. If you're still here in this video with me, something about this video is providing value for you, and your audience is going to receive that the same way. Views do not equal impact at all. Okay, so you could go on your YouTube studio, you could see which video is most successful based on how many views that it has. But if you don't have any comments, if people aren't clicking on the links in your description, if you're not getting thumbs up, if people are not staying to actually watch the whole video, maybe they're clicking off within the first 2 or 3 minutes and it's a 60-minute video, then you're not delivering the value. And that's actually the goal. The goal is to make people aware of a solution of the problem that you have, or to educate them on a solution. Okay, awareness and solutions that has value for your audience. Okay, your community builds when your content helps someone solve a real issue. Okay. Or at least if you're enlightening someone, your audience, making them aware of a concept that they were not before. Okay. You're setting something in motion for them. That is how you deliver value. It's through solving problems and educating people. Maybe entertaining as well. Obviously, entertainment is big on YouTube as well. Okay. But still, you're still solving someone's problem even through entertainment. If you know the opposite of laughter, you'll understand that even more so. And you can still deliver value through entertainment as well. Okay. But visibility is not the goal, value is. What I really appreciate is that y'all know this, my boy, Myron Golden. Okay. Less than 200-page paperback boss moves, business optimization, success secrets from $1 million round table really hones in on this message that if you provide value for someone by solving their problem, you'll never be broke another day in your life. You'll be able to quit your full-time employed job if you provide value for someone. It's what Myron has done. Okay. So the same way that I'm telling you that I've experimented with these things, so I'm able to tell you all the mistakes that I made to help you to skip over the mistakes and get straight to winning, then you'll know that Myron, who has taught me a lot of these things, also has done the same thing. So you don't need to reinvent the wheel. We're not making anything up. We are following a system that already works. Systems either work or they don't. This is a system that works. Myron talks about value and how it pays us back so greatly that we never have to even worry about going broke again if we're solving real world issues. Solve someone's problem. Become obsessed with solving their problems. That's what Myron did. And that's what I'm doing. And honestly, I see what he's talking about. And so that is why I'm sharing the same gems and the same message. By the way, just because this book is so great, I want to remind you that I have an affiliate link down below in the description box for Myron Golden's Boss Moves book. That's a paperback less than 200 pages, easy to read. I mean, super easy to read, y'all. So even if you're like, oh, I don't even like reading, y'all, it's so easy. Like, I just want to show you, like, this page is filled with words, and then this page has it's half and half. It has photos. Okay. Some pages are like this. I love this guy. Like, he's so smart. Some pages are literally like this. Okay, it's not even a full page of words. Okay, so it's an easy read and easy to understand. Okay, clear message. Remember, Myron does this really well, and it will help you in delivering your content too. All right, so that's it for visibility isn't a goal, value is. Now we're gonna move on to the 8 do's and don'ts and do's, and that is to don't worry about the algorithm. It's not a mystery, y'all. The algorithm is actually really simple. If your content is providing value, there's going to be a group of people that's going to discern that by staying and watching the whole thing, or at least 3/4 of it, maybe even half. Even if it's at half, this tells YouTube that they should put this content in front of an audience that's similar to who's watched it, because they're likely to want to watch it too. And so, if you're on someone's timeline when they open up their YouTube channel, then they're going to click on your video. That's it. It's not a mystery, y'all. Algorithm is very simple. You're either providing value or you're not. And if you are, you're going to fall onto someone's timeline, and you want to make sure that you give them a call to action. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so that they know when you drop the next one, they watch the next video, or they binge watch all of your videos all at once and they're bought in. But either way, the algorithm isn't a mystery. Okay. YouTube is going to force feed your content onto your audience's timeline as long as you are creating consistent content. Now, What the algorithm is a mirror. So you do want to look in the mirror. YouTube rewards clarity and consistency. So if people are watching your video more, that means that you have a clear message and that you're consistently answering someone's questions, solving someone's problem, or even consistently just publishing content for people to watch. It is a mirror. So I do need you to look into that mirror and to utilize the information that is in your YouTube studio to your advantage. You want to leverage this information, your comments, your likes, your views, the view duration time, your click through rate. You want to analyze these analytics to leverage how you continue to deliver this value, or to show you where you need to pivot, right? Remember that what you talk about repeatedly becomes what YouTube understands about you. So if you're constantly educating your audience, YouTube is going to pick up that you're an educator. And so it's going to place you in front of an audience who are students of the topic or the niche that you are educating people on. Okay. If you're in the entertainment business, right? Then YouTube's going to put you in front of an audience who comes on to YouTube to actually watch entertainment. Okay. It's not a mystery. And that's a really cool thing. It's not hard to figure out. It's great. We have all of the information that we need in order to be successful on this platform, y'all. Okay. So the only thing I need you to do is publish content consistently, at least once a week, so that you could get some feedback from your content and so that you can start to see who your audience is, produce the content for that audience, and then allow YouTube to funnel your content directly to them, not just general people or someone who actually doesn't care about your content, right? So if a lot of my content is in regards to fitness, but someone who's not coming onto YouTube and researching how to lose 20 pounds or how to lose weight fast, right? If they're not actually coming onto YouTube for that and searching for that, they're not going to put my content nor anyone else's that's in regards to losing weight on their timeline. You know that, y'all. When y'all open up your YouTube channel, what do you see? You continue to see what you search for or who you subscribe to. It's the same thing that's going to happen for you as the content creator. Okay. All right. Next, here goes the ninth don't and do's and don'ts. Either way, we're going to start with the don't. You don't have to show every part of your life, just the parts with purpose. Now, what do I mean by this? It's really important that as you are producing this content that you're talking about it from your experience. Like you should have some sort of storytelling happening, right? So as a reference point, I talk about my other channel, Built by Community, because I'm a full-time personal trainer, coach, fitness instructor. Like this is what I do a majority of my time. Okay. And so what do I do on that channel? I record my workouts, obviously. Okay. If I'm at home, I record in certain spaces, right? But even though I give coaching advice on nutrition, or at least how to eat mindfully, it's not something that I record a lot of, right? But I talk about it because it has purpose. So if someone's looking for information on how to lose weight, I absolutely have to talk about food. But I don't record it all, right? So I'm not showing everything. I'm not showing every part of my life and what I do, but I do talk about it. So I'm able to talk about my own experience with food and how it's helped me to lose weight, or I get to talk about how it's helped my clients to lose weight or to get to their goal. Okay. So I don't show everything, but I do talk about the things that's important because it has purpose. So So choose what you want to share. Anything that's personal, keep it personal. You don't have to overshare, and you don't have to share things that you don't want to. But you need to share the things that's going to allow people to pay attention, pay trust, and then ultimately pay you some dollars and cents for your solution. Hope that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And finally, we've come to our 10th do's and don'ts. Okay. Don't forget a call to action. Don't forget a call to action. What is your intention and your purpose for creating content aside from the fact that I keep telling you that you need to? Because it can't just be that. That's one of the reasons, but it's not the main reason. What do you want your audience to do? You have to tell them. And so sometimes I work with clients and it's very obvious what their intention is or their purpose for posting content. They have their products or they have their solution, right? And so they have their links in their description box and they're ready to go, right? But then some might have that, but then they're focused on getting people to like their content. And don't get me wrong, liking content is also feedback. So it does have significance. I just don't think it's the most significant thing. Like, I love a lot of content on YouTube and rarely like the content because a lot of the times after I initially turn on a piece of content, I'll like the first one and then it'll roll into the next one and then the next one and then the next one. And I told y'all earlier, a lot of times I'm listening and so is your audience. A lot of your audience is just listening to your content. And so I'm not even by my phone to start to like the content, right? So it's not that I'm not liking it with intention, right? Even sometimes while I'm watching content, I forget. And so when my content creator says, make sure you subscribe and like this content, then I'm like, oh yeah, I do like this content. Let me like it. Sometimes people haven't figured out whether they liked it yet or not either. It's like there's so many things that could be going on for people, y'all. And so that's why it's important that if likes are important to you, if you're trying to get your like game up, which obviously it does also send YouTube some feedback as well about your content. But my whole point is that you got to tell people, you got to tell your audience what you need from them. So you need to create a call to action. So that's subscribe, hit the notification bell, that's to like this piece of content, that's to leave a comment about the gem that you're taking away today from this conversation, or to drop a question that you have about content creation inside of the comment box down below so that I can answer that question. I gave y'all a call to action earlier, right? That is exactly what I told you to do in the comment box. And you need to do the same. Do not forget to give your audience direction. They need a call to action. Now, if you ask me, oh no, not a thumbs down. Do not give this video a thumbs down either. Don't do that. Okay. Now, for me, subscribing is important for a multitude of reasons, especially if you're looking for monetization on your channel. Okay. So that's something that I look forward to, is to monetizing all of my channels. And in monetizing, I'm sorry, and in monetization, one of the most important components is the subscribers. So subscribers at a certain amount allows you to turn on monetization as well as click-through rates. So people actually staying for a duration of time throughout your videos, meaning that they watch a majority of the video. So those are two components that are really specifically important to monetization. But obviously you could diversify your income streams on YouTube. So it's not the only way. So maybe comments is something that you want to consider if you are not clear about how your content is hitting with your audience. Your audience is built in the comments. Okay. So people, you'll see like someone might leave a comment and you get to respond to it. That's cool. But then what's going to start to happen once you start to grow your channel, you're going to see that other people start to comment on that person's comments or to like it and thumbs up it. Right. So you have a whole community event happening inside of your comment section when you start to grow your channel. Your audience is built in the comment section. So it's important to recognize this and to give that call to action about leaving comments and give them something in particular, because a prompt is helpful. Otherwise, people don't even know it's a comment, right? So even if it's, hey, if you found this video really valuable today, let me know that down in the comment box, right? I found this valuable today. Thanks for leaving it in the comments. I'll be sure to like it. I'll be sure to love it, and I'll be sure to respond to you, right? Your audience, your community is built through that. You get to engage and connect with your audience by responding to them through the comment box, right? So if they don't leave the YouTube platform and find you somewhere else, they get to find you on the YouTube platform right in the comment section. So you get to commune with your own audience in this area. It's really important that you give a strong call to action and that you're asking your audience to engage with you, not just through the camera. Okay? Engagement is way greater than just the production of your video. You want your audience to engage with your content. You want your audience to engage with you. So replying, pinning comments, asking questions, these things all equal community growth. This is what's important. And with that, my friends, that is all of the 10 lessons that I have for us today. Like I said, I've experimented with all of these things and have gotten immense and invaluable feedback from each one of these steps that I've taken in this journey so far. And so I hope that I was able to save you a headache or two or frustration and burnout through this process of content creation. Be sure to play this back again and to hit each one of these points, right? Where have you already met some resistance along on the journey of this? Is it through posting daily or even weekly? Are you still having trouble with that? Is it through actually turning on the camera? Is that pretty embarrassing for you? I need you to play this back, because remember, we went over all those steps and I gave you some other options, but none of these things should hinder you or stop you from publishing and posting content consistently. As a small business owner, you absolutely want to build brand presence in the digital world. And YouTube is a great space to do that. Open source platform that is free, cost effective, and people get to learn. And your content gets to live on way beyond your time, right? And way beyond even your business's time, right? And then if you're an aspiring content creator, same thing goes for you as well, right? So all of these tips, they still matter, even if you're just looking to create more content, maybe not specifically to monetize, right? Or to grow your brand presence, even, right? These principles still apply. It's really important. And so I need you to run this back one more again. And then let me know down in the comment box which gem stood out for you today and that you're going to implement immediately. And don't forget, if you have any questions, leave that in a comment box as well so that I can respond to you either directly through the comments or by elaborating and dropping more content specifically on the question that you asked. I'll be happy to do that. I look forward to it. Thank you for communing with me, and I'll see you next week for another Dream Small Business Framework. Until next Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, y'all. Ciao. Enjoy.